We just watched the trailer for Contagion.
Contagion, okay, so I'm assuming it has something to do with a disease.
They said bird flu, you dumbass. Like, they told you the disease. Bird flu.
Yeah.
Really?
There's no bird flu in it. It's like...
They're just explaining something about disease.
Yeah, that's the problem with trailers of this thing. It's like, this type of trailer, they're always going to be like, let's try to make the stakes as high as possible in the trailer. And you hear like the music's getting louder as time goes on. They're getting progressively more... They move the president underground and stuff, like really out of context lines they just throw around in the video.
Yeah.
And yeah,
apparently it is about some form of airborne pathogen that is killing everyone. Moving on.
No.
Yes, that's all it's about.
It's not the entire movie. There's other stuff going on in the movie as well.
Yeah, it's
finding out who made the disease and why they made the disease, and if they're trying to weaponize the disease. And if there's anything going on that's
actually part of the fun of the movie is you have all these different factions and stuff that are trying to figure out where the disease came from, whether or not someone made it, or like whether or not all these cures that people are working on are being faked in order to like make certain people get better and other people not get better, like different countries.
Yeah.
Like, all these bizarre political things. But for the most part, it's just a very cold, collected version of what you expect this type of movie to be like. It's not filmed like a disaster movie. It's not like, oh my god, we have to fight all the stakes, we have to run down hallways dramatically for no apparent reason. I was like, no, it's a movie where a disease is wiping out like a percentage of the entire population of the planet, which is like millions of people, and people are just trying to figure out how to survive and how to deal with it. And so they show you the sort of what do you call it? It's like
and I assume the main character Matt Damon is immune.
Oh my god, that was actually pretty good.
Got it on film, baby. I've never seen the movie. Caught it.
Yeah, he's actually immune to the
I knew
disease.
it.
He's not the main character though, because there's not a main character.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
In the trailer, he was prominent.
Yeah, well, because he's Matt Damon. You see Matt Damon in the trailer, like, he's the main character immediately.
It's funny because the trailer gave it away that he was immune to it.
Did it really?
Yes. Because they showed a list of everybody who was sick, he was the only one that wasn't sick.
Oh yeah,
and everybody was showing how
and he was right next to people who were sick in the trailer.
Yeah,
like, he was helping his wife. He was like with his wife the whole time.
Yeah, but like when they
sick,
showed like all the people, so like it started here, and it showed him, and then it showed like her, and then everybody else, and he's just sitting there like this.
It showed her first.
Oh yeah, it showed two people, and it showed both of them.
Her and like some Asian dude.
No, it was her and him.
Well, what they do with the movie is instead of having a linear story about one character or anything like that, they do the sort of the Crash type of movie where it's like a bunch of parallel storylines going on at once. And some of them overlap, some of them connect, and so on and so forth. But the important part is that
the movie's basically about the pathogen.
Yeah, like it's about what it's doing. It's about giving you this worldwide view on what's happening during this disease. And it's actually kind of disturbingly realistic throughout the whole movie about how well it's done.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is that it skips out on a lot of the really annoying emotional stuff that would make this movie drag. Like there's no part where like, oh, this person died, let's mourn them for like the next 5 minutes of the movie and play sad music. It's like, this person died.
Moving
next
on.
character.
Yeah, moving on.
So what about Matt Damon's story? His looked almost obnoxious because it was
Matt Damon's
looked
story.
like it was about like saving his kid and trying to get her out of this town where everybody's going crazy to a safe place, and everybody's like, no, you can't progress, and he's like, God damn it, I have a kid to save. And
kind of sort of not really, but at the same time he's actually one of the least, probably least interesting, but also least time consuming stories. He's not in it that much, to be honest. I think how do you put it? Basically, his wife is one of the first people to be affected by this disease in the entire world, and she dies.
So Matt Damon and the daughter are both immune to it?
No. He's immune. They don't know if she's immune.
Because he keeps fending off sick people from her.
Yeah, so he's...
Because it looked like she's walking around with a mask on, he's just beating the shit out of people who come up to him.
Yeah, throughout the movie, he's basically got her holed up in a room as if she's in a zombie outbreak, but he's not, basically.
Yeah.
And you have this bizarre situation there. But he's not that intensive of a character throughout the story. You got more interesting things, like you have the Jude Law character, where he starts out as like this.
He looks like he's like a reporter or something.
Yeah, because they show him for like half a second in the trailer. He's like, this is really big deal. I'm yelling at a camera that's off screen.
Yeah, like he's a.
But in the movie, he starts off as like this crazy sort of conspiracy theorist type person. No one's taking him seriously, but he calls out that this disease is happening before anyone else does. Like, was it like two people?
He calls out the outbreak.
Yeah, like 2 people die of this strange disease, and he's already calling like this is gonna go nuts, and he's already like. So when he turned out to be right, people treat him as sort of like a prophet. Like people people are all gathering around him and like watching what he says throughout the whole outbreak because they think
that guy.
He starts out like the blogger. People think he's crazy at first, but then they pick up on it that he knew what he was talking about. But he starts using that to his advantage to basically find a way to profit off the disease. It's like, what the fuck? We have the Kate Winslet character.
Yeah, that sounds like Jude Law.
She's like the ultimate like selfless character in this one, where like she's part of the disease control along with Morpheus.
Morpheus.
Oh yeah, it's true. Fern and Morpheus are part of CDC.
Yeah, they're in CDC. She's actually out on the field actively trying to find out, like, organize all the logistics of things and take care of people. And then the Morpheus guy, I never remember his name. Do you remember his name? Guy that plays Morpheus?
No.
The actor's name? Nobody knows his name. Everyone just says he's Morpheus.
Basically.
That's true.
Everyone just calls him Morpheus. No one knows that.
Yeah, like the Morpheus guy is like the head of the CDC, though, and he's taking care of things from the like further away part.
Yeah.
Let's see. You got one character who, like the girl who played Mal in Inception.
Yeah.
She actually goes to China, and she's tracking down the entire process of where the source of the disease was. She's like basically looking at all the people who were infected and going through their story backwards to try to find out exactly where it came from.
So it came from China?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the cool thing about the movie is that you have all these different characters, you're just kind of cutting between them, seeing what happens. Halfway through the movie, like in I guess you call it the second act, either certain characters will just die, and other ones you have this big thing where they either have a big change in how they're dealing with the situation, or you have this big reveal on what kind of person they really are. In this kind of movie, there's usually not really an ending. It just kind of like, all right, we're done, and the credits roll. And they kind of resolve that by going back in time at the end of the movie and showing you the entire process of how the disease spread in the first place. Anyway, it is a movie I thoroughly recommend. So I really enjoyed it.
When did it come out?
It came out a few weeks ago.
Okay.
The thing about
is it in 3D?
I hate disaster movies.
I don't want to see it then. If it's on 3D, I want to see diseases coming at me in 3D.
But like I absolutely hate disease. I mean not disease, but I hate like disaster movies. But like, oh, the world's coming to an end, because they're always this bullshit Michael Bay type movie, or what is it, Roland Emmerich? I guess.
Burn through, buildings exploding. How?
Like I saw Matt Damon in the trailer. Like he's gonna be running through hallways being shot at, isn't he? Like that's gonna be what this is, because the end. But that didn't happen. And he's in like one building most of the movie. It's like it's a well done, like realistic, very fun, well acted, interesting movie, and it makes you paranoid as shit.
Makes you paranoid.
They tell you that stuff about like how people keep touching their face and then touching everything else.
Everyone 5 seconds.
There was a part where I sneezed during the movie and I felt bad. I looked around like people are gonna be staring at me, and they were.
Really? Yeah. You people are paranoid.